Construction, price hikes, lost hotel perks. Hate to be the bearer of bad Disney World news, but you need to know about these 2026 trip ups before you go. But the good news is we're going to help you prepare for it no matter what. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. Now I know this video title is scary, especially when you've already paid thousands to lock in your Disney World hotel room and park tickets. Same. But never fear, because we're here and we're going to warn you about certain bad things that might threaten to ruin your 2026 trip while you're in the midst of it. But since we're ripping off the band-aid right now, we're going to help you prepare for what's to come instead of you having to learn about it the hard way. All right, numero uno on my list that is making me kind of sad but kind of happy and, all of that is Cinderella Castle going under refurb. It's going to get the scrim treatment, I imagine. So Cinderella Castle in Magic Kingdom is getting a new paint job. Well, actually, it's getting an old paint job made new again. And by that, I mean the classic blues, grays, and gold accents are making that comeback on Cinderella Castle. The colors changed shortly before Disney World's 50th anniversary, and while the 50th medallion was taken down post-celebration, the colors remained the same, with pinks that some people said reminded them of the Sleeping Beauty castle at Disneyland or, Pepto-Bismol. But now the OG colors are coming back, which many folks are excited about and others are not so excited about, because they actually had that pink kind of grow on them. Now, whether you're pro classic colors or pro 50th anniversary colors, this paint job change could still be bad news regardless, because a paint job this big means Cinderella Castle won't be looking like her perfect pretty self for a while as this transition is made. We're talking scrims and cranes and construction walls and other less appealing background noise that could add an extra blemish to your future Cinderella Castle pictures for a little while. We don't know just yet when this change is going to start happening, so you don't have to worry about it immediately, but it is expected to start up in 2026. So thank goodness for Photoshop, right? Now we're gonna make sure to keep you in the know when we hear about exact timelines for the project, and this will not be the only time you hear me saying that in today's video, so heads up. But if you want an overview of everything we currently know will be happening in Disney World so far over the next 12 months, then scan the QR code you see on the screen right now or click on the link in the description for disneyfoodblog.com/WDW calendar after this, because we put together an awesome calendar that's totally free for you, that's going to give you all the updates, the things you're going to need to be aware of, the things that you're going to need to know about for next year. And by the way, we're constantly updating it. It's a digital guide, so we can change it all the time. So we're going to be adding updates to it as well. So the image of a tumbleweed rolling across a deserted street has never felt as appropriate for poor old Frontierland than it does right now. Magic Kingdom's new Piston Peak area, which is going to be themed around Pixar's Cars, is taking over where Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island used to be in Frontierland and Liberty Square. And beyond that, a new Disney Villains Land is being built behind Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. And then just to pour salt on the wound here, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is still closed as Disney works on giving the classic coaster a major overhaul. While Big Thunder is slated to reopen in 2026, we don't know when exactly that's going to happen. Could be early 2026, could be later. We'll just have to wait and see. Even Frontierland's train station's closed as all this construction takes place, meaning that the Walt Disney World Railroad will only be traveling between the Main Street and Fantasyland stations, which leaves about half the route unavailable at this time. Disney's turned some of the benches around on the train so you can now face either direction, which is nice, but still, you got less train to experience overall for who knows how long. Now, it sounds pretty intense in back of Magic Kingdom right now, and I'm not pulling punches. It's pretty sad to see this area torn up, even though it's gonna lead to some really cool changes when all is said and done. But Frontierland still has things worth visiting in 2026, y'all. You're gonna wanna make it over to that part of the park. You've got Country Bear Musical Jamboree, you've got Tiana's Bayou Adventure, Pecos Bill Tall Tale Inn and Cafe, Golden Oak Outpost, and Westward Ho snack stands, which has some of our favorite snacks in Magic Kingdom, Prairie Outpost, Frontierland Trading Post, and Tiana's Bayou General Shops. And if you're a Disney Vacation Club member or a friend of one who's invited you to join their trip, McKim's Mile House recently opened in Frontierland too, giving Disney Vacation Club members and their guests the chance to hang out in an exclusive lounge where you'll find plenty of air-conditioned seating, a Coke Freestyle machine, and other beverages on offer free of charge, Wi-Fi, and several places to rest and recharge literally. So Don't completely pass up Frontierland during your 2026 visit. There are still things happening here, even in the midst of all this construction. It's just gonna look messy there for a little bit. Okay, price hikes again? Yep, again. Disney World's recently been slapped with another big wave of price hikes. It happens every year. Actually, it happens twice every year. And they might do an encore performance before your 2026 vacation. The recent wave of price hikes impacted annual passes, fireworks dessert parties, hundreds of entrees, snacks and drinks, gift shop t-shirts and mini ears, and theme park parking. We got all the specifics on our DFB website if you want to check those posts when you get the chance, but in general, price hikes for most things aren't going to be overly extravagant. For example, t-shirts used to be $25 for two and $29.99 for one. Now you're going to pay $20.99 for two and $32.99 for one. That being said, hundreds of little price hikes are still price hikes. And if you're not prepared for all these extra costs, your budget for your upcoming Disney World trip might end up being higher than you expected. And Disney might not be done with price hikes yet. We usually see another wave of them come around the beginning of the new year. So you'll want to create a solid budgeting safety net that goes beyond the prices you might be seeing right now. I get it. The Disney sticker shock never gets less shocking, but fortunately there are still ways for you to cut down on those vacation costs even as the price hikes charge into battle. Don't worry, like I said, we got you. Along with the cost spikes, Disney also regularly releases discounts on the special offers, deals, and discounts page on the Disney World website. Now, this is going to help you save hundreds on hotel rooms and tickets and vacation packages and possibly even your dining. Don't forget, Disney has quietly released that free dining for kids next year in 2026. So definitely go check out that offer because it could save you a ton. Now, speaking of saving on dining, if you got a copy of the DFB Guide to Walt Disney World Dining handy, which you can find over at dfbstore.com, we got full sections that talk about how to save money when it comes to eating and drinking and snacking around the parks. No, really, that's what Chapter 9 in the 101 section of the guide is strictly dedicated to, saving you money on food, possibly hundreds of dollars if you play your cards right. It's also important to remember not all price hikes are going to directly impact your trip. For example, if you're staying at a Disney-owned hotel, theme park parking is going to be free for you to use anyways, so that $30 to $35 per day parking increase isn't going to impact your budget at all. But regardless, make sure you save maybe an extra $100 to $200 on top of what you think you're going to need in your vacation budget, just to give you a little more cushion. All right, we knew Hollywood Studios would have lots of construction going on in 2026, but we never knew it'd end up looking like this. Hollywood Studios is currently down two major areas. First, we've got Muppets Courtyard, which permanently shut down to start making way for the new Monstropolis area, slated to open at a later date in the future. Someday, maybe we'll get a hanging roller coaster about Mike and Sully. And now, we've also got Animation Courtyard shut down to start making way for the new Walt Disney Studios, including the Magic of Disney Animation experience, which is slated to open in 2026. We just don't know when in 2026. By the way, The Little Mermaid, a musical adventure, still open during this time. Both Muppets Courtyard and the Animation Courtyard are two areas that we always recommended as solid escapes when the crowds were feeling too overwhelming. But now that these areas are down for the count, we not only have less to do in this park for a while, but we also have fewer areas that'll help space out guests, meaning bottlenecked paths are gonna get even tighter. So if you're looking for a little breather from the Hollywood Studios crowds in 2026 when everything's starting to feel a little bit too close for comfort, here are some areas that are still open and can still provide a little bit of respite. First, Pixar Place. When it's open, Pixar Place is another calmish location to sit down and rest for a bit. It's located just down the stairs next to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway and on the way to Toy Story Land, just past a one-man stream. And this area is typically a quiet spot with possibly just a few guests taking photos in front of Incredibles murals. Second, Walt Disney Presents itself. Walt Disney Presents is home to one-of-a-kind photos and models and sketches and costumes and more, documenting Walt Disney's journey from birth to Disney World. It's not only an interesting gallery for fans of Disney history, but it also tends to be quiet and not super crowded. And every once in a while, they do have brand new displays in there of things coming up. Like right now, they have the whole model of tropical America, so you can go and look at what it's actually going to look like. Oh, and it's also air conditioned. That's very important. Number 3, Echo Lake in general. So Echo Lake, where Big Gertie is one of the older sections of the park that has pathways that are a little bit more spread out than you'll find at Commissary Lane or Grand Avenue. Plus, there are still some solid attractions for you to experience in this area, like Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular, Star Tours, and a Frozen sing-along celebration. And of course, Backlot Express, which is its own attraction as far as I'm concerned. Now, if you thought that was a lot of Hollywood Studios construction, just wait until Rock and Roller Coaster starts to get its remodel too. Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith will remain open till the end of the year, but once 2026 rolls around, this ride will enter into an extended refurb mode, take out the Aerosmith theming, and replace it with a Muppets revamp. While Rock and Roller Coaster isn't in a super prominent place where this closure will lead to more bottlenecking, it does mean that the first half of this year will, yet again, be missing another ride that usually helps to absorb the crowds. And I think we're going to be missing this coaster's presence dearly. Not to mention, I also have to question just how different this revamp is actually going to be, because from the looks of it right now, Disney's going to try to get all this remodel business done in like a few months. Because they've already said the Muppets Rock and Roller Coaster is going to open in the summer. And that doesn't seem like a whole lot of time. So to put it in perspective for you, Test Track and Epcot took over a year to update, Big Thunder Mountain's revamp is going to take over a year, and Tiana's Bayou Adventure took over a year to remodel too when it changed over from its previous Splash Mountain form. And yet, Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets won't start construction until 2026, but is still planning to reopen by the summer. So, is this Muppets takeover really going to be all that different with such a quick turnaround to consider? Well, here's what we do know is going to be included in the new version. Disney has shared that not only would the Electric Mayhem be featured as the musicians on this ride, but Scooter will be featured in a pre-show recording studio as an audio animatronic figure. There's also going to be audio animatronic penguins. And Disney also teased that Scooter and Penguins might not be the only new Muppet animatronics, so of course, in typical Disney fashion, we don't have any real details or clues, but we'll keep an eye out for more to come. Now, as far as the ride track is concerned, it looks like things might still be pretty much exactly the same as before, which is great if you loved Rock and Roller Coaster, but it may be a shame if you were hoping for maybe a less rough headbanging experience in the future, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see what actually transpires from all of this TLC. Okay, we're losing some hotel perks as well in 2026. If you were looking forward to using the free water park tickets that come along with a Disney World hotel stay, I've either got good news or really disappointing news to share with you. The good is that Disney has confirmed that free water park entry is returning as a hotel perk, and this hotel perk allows any guest staying on Disney property free entry into one of Disney's 2 water parks on the day you check into your Disney-owned hotel. This perk automatically connects to you and your party, who are linked to your room reservation, and can be great to kill time before your room is ready. But the disappointing part, unlike in 2025, when this perk was available all year, weather permitting, it's only going to be available for guests who are planning summer 2026 vacations. So if you're planning an Orlando trip in the spring, the winter, or the fall, this perk is a no-go for you to take advantage of. So basically, instead of, the full perk, we get a quarter of the perk next year. Now, something else we learned about just recently that's also limited our future Disney hotel perks is that the Magic Band discount, which used to give hotel guests major savings on select Magic Band styles, has been discontinued, canceled, disappeared. But if I'm being real here, I still don't think I ever got over the fact that we lost free Magic Bands in the first place, which used to come with Disney hotel stays before the 2020 closures. Remember when you get those little boxes and they were your Magic Bands and it was so exciting? Anyway, no more. Now, you don't need to purchase a Magic Band at all for your trip if you'd rather not spend the money on it. After all, your free Key to the World card and Magic mobile device via the My Disney Experience app can do all the same things that a standard Magic Band can do. Not to mention, if you've been to Disney in the past year or so, you can use your old Magic Band or Magic Band Plus from your past trip for your current trip. So there's no need to pay extra if you're satisfied with the Magic Band style you got in the first place. A standard Magic Band tends to have a 2 to 3 year lifespan, while a Magic Band Plus's life is a lot longer. You just have to remember to charge that one if you want to use its interactive features. But if you do want to buy a new Magic Band and keep up with the Disney World trends and couture, just be prepared to pay more for these interactive wristbands than perhaps you've ever paid for them before. All right, this is it. We are in DinoLand USA's final months over in Disney's Animal Kingdom. But really, a lot of this land is pretty much gone and buried already. There's no more Chester and Hester's Dinosaur Treasures, no more Fossil Fun Games, no more Boneyard Play Area, no more Triceratops Spin, No more Dino Bite snacks or trilobites. All we've got left now is Dinosaur the Ride and Restaurantosaurus the quick service, but both of those will be gone for good on February 2nd, 2026. Two things I want to say about this. First is I'm excited for the changes that are taking place in DinoLand. I really am. When Pueblo Esperanza fully takes over the DinoLand USA section in 2027, I think it's going to serve as a really fun Tropical Americas themed refresh to an otherwise controversial carnival themed park section that's always been endearing, but has also stuck out in this park like a sore thumb. Now, don't get me wrong, probably one of my favorite lands in all of Disneydom. I think it's brilliant. But alas, a lot of people disagree. Now, secondly, regardless of my anticipation for this new area and my overall love for Animal Kingdom period, I will admit that the loss of this area is going to make Animal Kingdom pretty anemic for the remainder of 2026. And unfortunately, that's probably going to deter people from prioritizing it, even though it's such a great park with so many unique experiences still open, including the brand new Zootopia Better Zoo Gather show that you're going to be able to find inside the Tree of Life. I understand, of course, why you'd want to skip this park in 2026. I do, but just to help you look at the glass half full for a minute, this could also be your chance to explore a Disney World park with a minimum amount of planning and way more animal conversing. Also, lots more Pongu Lumpias. Oh, come on, Disney Springs, not you too. Yeah, looks like a major maintenance project will be hitting Disney Springs early next year in the Lime Garage. I feel like a broken record here, y'all, but I'm thankful for the TLC that'll be happening on all 5 levels of the parking structure. I mean, if there's structural damage here in need of repair, then by all means repair it. But holy cow, there's just so much construction in 2026 that it's making my head spin, and I imagine you're pretty tired of hearing about it. Although it's subject to change based on documents made public by the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District, it looks like this project will begin on January 12th and go through March 13th. If parking here doesn't get chaotic enough, now we're going to be down by 1 garage, and a main parking garage at that. Fortunately, the orange and grapefruit garages will still be open during this time, and the surface parking you can find around the Drawn to Life Theater will be there. It's also worth noting that it appears there'll be a break in the middle of the project with a brief reopening planned from February 11th to February 17th, which is probably Florida anticipating a busy President's Day weekend. So the extra parking during this time will be much appreciated. But otherwise, it might be more crucial than ever to plan out your Disney Springs visit accordingly during the first few months of next year. So try to aim for the earlier in the day / weekday visit instead of scrambling to find parking in the evening and on the weekends. Now, if you're staying at a Disney World hotel or you happen to be at Disney resorts just visiting, don't forget you can always use their free bus transportation to take you right to Disney Springs and skip the parking hassle entirely. Or you can always purchase a rideshare like Uber or Lyft to take you over to the shopping district instead. Okay, again, I love seeing Disney World take the time to really give their attractions that much needed love and updates. But depending on when your trip falls in 2026, an attraction down for TLC means you might miss out on it completely. Here are the remaining Disney World attractions that we know about so far that have scheduled maintenance or planned updates that could bleed into the timeline of your 2026 vacation. Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin over there in Magic Kingdom closed on August 4th, 2025 for updates and will not reopen until sometime in 2026. But it's going to be really cool because we're going to have brand new ride vehicles and brand new blasters. It's going to be awesome. Attractions like Carousel of Progress in Magic Kingdom and Frozen Ever After in Epcot have big animatronic updates announced, but we're not sure when exactly these rides will close in order to make those updates happen. But don't forget, Carousel of Progress is getting a Walt Disney animatronic, and Frozen Ever After is going to get rid of the projection faces and have real faces on their animatronics going forward. Recently, Disney announced in summer 2026, Soarin' in Epcot will be getting a brand new airborne adventure. The new version of the ride will take you across the United States, highlighting some of the country's natural beauty and iconic cityscapes in honor of America's 250th anniversary. So that might lead to a temporary closure at some point to make the transition happen, but I don't think it'll be more than just a few days because all they literally have to do is change the movie, right? Right. Okay. And from January 25th through the 31st, 2026, the Disney Skyliner is going to be closed for refurbishment, which can be a major bummer if you don't know that it's happening. So even though it's just a few days, keep those those days in mind. This might not be the end of the temporary closures tunnel, but if you're worried about one of your priority Disney attractions closing for any amount of time, you can always search the attractions webpage on the Disney World website to see if any potential closures have been noted. If they are, they'll be at the top in orange text. Or you can save yourself the extra hassle and just join our free DFB newsletter, because we're going to send you updates on the latest roundup of Disney news, including those closures, as soon as we hear about them. And here's a little bonus for you. This isn't bad news, but it can feel a little stressful when we don't exactly know what the future holds for the Walt Disney Company. In case you don't know about what's going on at Disney behind the scenes, let me catch you up to speed. Bob Iger took over as Disney's CEO back in 2005, and he stayed in that position until 2020, which is when Bob Chapek took over. He served for a few years within the company before he ultimately stepped down as CEO. So Bob Iger came out of retirement and stepped back into his former position in 2022. In 2023, Disney confirmed that Bob Iger would remain CEO through 2026, but the company confirmed in late 2024, sorry for all the 20s here, that the name of the new CEO would be revealed early in 26. And that, my friends, is the extent of what we know. There's been plenty of online discourse concerning who's going to end up replacing Iger, with several names coming to light, some within the company and others outside of it. But the four names that bubble up to the surface most often include Dana Walden, co-chairman of Disney Entertainment, Alan Bergman, another co-chairman of Disney Entertainment, Jimmy Pitaro, chairman of ESPN, and Josh D'Amaro, the current chairperson of Walt Disney Parks and Resorts. D'Amaro tends to be the face of announcements and media events for the company, making him the most public figure for those of us Disney adults that sort of follow the parks news. Disney and Iger have remained quiet on whether any of these names are confirmed to be under consideration, but they have confirmed it is a robust search and that Iger will definitely be stepping down as CEO for good this time. Again, we don't know much beyond all of this except for the fact that we're just a few months away from a decision that could change the face of the Walt Disney Company as we know it. It's enough to keep you on the edge of your seat for sure, but we're eager to see which man or woman will fill the shoes of Bob Iger when the time comes. Okay, now for some good news. Disney World might be changing, but we here at Disney Food Blog are still set in our ways, ready to help you plan and execute the best vacation ever, despite a few hiccups that you might encounter. So stay tuned for more Disney World planning videos to come. Check out some of our other planning videos now, like our new rules for Disney World rides. And don't forget to download our free 12 months in Disney World calendar over at disneyfoodblog.com/WDW calendar. Lots of folks are getting that and they are loving it. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.